Guys, to do Laguna, YouTube, Zangolo Kante, Mr. Sauce on Spill. It's well documented how much I like Harry Kane. Yes, he plays for Spurs, and there's a small section of football fans who are idiots that I know football's tribal, but to swear you can't rate someone, you can't say good things about someone that plays for another team. We know how good Harry Kane is. But I want to compare him to Rashford. Well, not really compare them. They're at two different stages in their career. I love them both. Rashford's a big boy by no stretch of the imagination. Is this a criticism of Rashford? Because I rate Rashford a lot, man. Rashford gets praised for what he does on the pitch, but what he doesn't get praised for is what he does off it. Learning from Zlatan, learning from Rooney, now Lukaku, couple other midfielders that have nothing to do with being a striker long term. Obviously, now he's even said he learned from Defoe. He come up to Defoe England training. Obviously, the strikers I've just named, they all score different sorts of goals. Zlatan bangers, Defoe very much a poacher, Rooney all sorts of goals. If you're learning from all of them, you're gonna score all sorts of goals yourself, and you're gonna be a good striker, and you'll score tap-ins, you'll score bangers, you'll score it all. So I love Rashford, but I sat here after the Spurs game. I was thinking to myself, what if Harry Kane? What was that? What if Harry Kane, guys? Yeah, was like Rashford in the sense that yes, Kane was always marked as having a future at some level, but you know how Rashford came through. Yes, it was because of injuries, but he came through golden boy, 17, 18, 19, however old he is, turning 20, couldn't do no wrong. He's done his bits, don't get me wrong, because there's a reason, and you saw him tear them Palace guys yesterday up. There's a reason why he's rated so highly. But yeah, you see him compared with Kylian Mbappe. That's a fair comparison. Neither are clear of each other. I probably think Mbappe is further ahead than him, but they're not clear. Yeah, man. They were saying this, that, and this, that, and the third about Rashford. He can be this. He can be one of the best players. Harry Kane's 24 years of age, and no one says he can be one of the best players in the world for the same logic. I mean, let's just say we know Kane. Like I was trying to say before I got lost and started waffling. We know Kane was an 18-year-old or whatever, but he didn't come through like Rashford. He very much had it hard. He wasn't prolific in the Championship, which makes me rate him more because he's had a hard life trying to break through at Spurs year after year. Loans, not that prolific in the Championship. I believe he's had 30 odd appearances, 35, got 9 goals, numerous loans, the odd Europa League here and there. And it could have went either way with Harry Kane. I mean, imagine Pochettino didn't give him these chances. Harry Kane might never be Harry Kane. He might be doing it somewhere else. He might not be levels as to where he is now. That makes me rate him more. And considering his goal record that he has now, and he really, let's be honest, yes, he got the odd chance here and there, but consistently first team for Spurs. Only 2012, 13, maybe the year before that. It's been recent. He hasn't been playing for how many years at Spurs like that. And he's got crazy goal scoring records. If I bring up 174 appearances for Spurs, 108 goals, 18 assists. Oh my days! Imagine how many goals he would have if he was like Rashford. He came through 18, 19, earmarked for stardom and playing games. Just imagine that for example, 82 in 82 goals came in the Premier League. You'd back him to have 100. He's obviously gonna get 100 by the end of the season altogether. So yeah, I mean, you hear about Kane all the time. You hear him as a goal scorer and things, and that is true. But he's got a lot of qualities. People will say, yeah, Rashford is more easier on the eye. That's why he gets praised. He's good on the eye and things like that. And Rashford is. He's a skillful boy. You see him do Rabonas, flip flap with a lot of it. It's true. But what isn't good about Kane on the eye? Because this has been said. The movement's excellent. The general play is excellent. He lays on his teammates. I mean, I did admit I thought he would have had more than 18 assists, but he lays on his teammates. He tracks back. The less glamorous side, you always see him defending his own box and things like that. Gives it all. No wonder he's always getting subbed. Yes, it'll be frustrating if you're always on 2 goals and you're getting subbed by your manager, but he's putting in the shift. He's working his socks off. And at a team like Spurs, no disrespect to them, but he is the best player there. When you have best players at clubs, they tend to, sometimes they don't want to run as much because they know how important. Kane's not like that. He does not think of himself as any better than his teammates. I like the guy. I've got a lot of time for Harry Kane, man. Like I said, he's 24. He didn't really get into first team football at 18 like that. It weren't really, someone ever put their hat on it like they put their hat on Rashford and said, for better or worse, for consistency, for inconsistency, we're still gonna play you and things like that. Don't get me wrong, yeah. Karim Benzema's a certain striker, yeah. But I want to illustrate the point. He's 29. He's 371 appearances for Real Madrid, 182 goals, 104 assists. I must admit I thought he would have had more goals, but the assists is crazy. But if you were to say Harry Kane or Benzema, there's some people that wouldn't even consider the facts that would just instantly say Benzema. Instantly say, oh, he's a good team player, he can score goals, he can do this, he can do that, he can do the third. All of that is true. But if we look on the basis that strikers, first and foremost, yeah, are about goals. Like, regardless, you're not remembered as a striker if you was a good team player and you was this. You are, but you're not going to be remembered like that. Heskey was a good team player, and for God's sake, strikers are remembered for goals. You can have all the skills, be the best teammate in the world. If you're a striker and you're not scoring, that don't make sense. That's like a fireman that knows everything about fires and has seen over 100 fires, but he's never been in it. You're not going to listen to him. Strikers first and foremost are for goals, and then the rest comes secondary. So I guess my point with that is, I don't care who's better out of Benzema and Kane, but people would instantly just say Benzema and discard Kane without looking at the facts. Yes, Benzema's assists are better, but look at the goals. People would instantly say Benzema's a class above. They say the movement, he's more intelligent, he's technically this, he's that, and the third. And they probably I've had this conversation. That's why I made this vid. There's some people that would instantly put Benzema and say he's world class, he's this, that, and the third. But when it's Kane, oh, he needs to do it in Europe. He needs to do it on the international stage. Blah blah blah. All of that is true. Yeah, all of that is true. He needs to score goals in the international stage, and obviously he wants to score more in the champs. He said that himself. That's what the best players in the world do. That's what the man himself has said. But in today's market, the man is world class. Harry Kane didn't come through, didn't have the best of times coming through from the academy. Wasn't prolific to get a chance in the championship. He's now come through. He hasn't been playing for Spurs like that in the first team for long. And he's busting goal records. He's scoring goals for fun. Back-to-back goal scorer. 13 goals in September after the August. We know Harry Kane don't like August. I don't know what's wrong with him in August. But yeah, like, I don't. I'm like I tried to say. This ain't me getting at Rashford or nothing like that. It's just imagine if we were to put Kane in that situation, and you say if Kane was in Rashford's shoes, they'll say he has potential to be one of the best players in the world. Why doesn't he have the potential to be one of the best players in the world at 24 years of age? Still young for a striker, nowhere near his prime. Came into the game at this level kind of late, so you could say he's going to develop-ish kind of later as well. Why can't he? Why can't we say at 26, 27, this guy could be one of the best, if not the best striker in the world? Wishful thinking, I know, but yeah, you guys get it. Like I said, man, this ain't me getting at Rashford. People who say he's pleasing on the eye, he is pleasing on the eye. But what's not pleasing on the eye about Kane? Like I said, this was all spun out of a debate, to be honest with you, with friends. So on that note, let me wrap it up. Let me not waffle. Deluded Gooner. I'm signing now. Get in the comments, subscribe. Yeah, man, you know the rest of it. Thank you very much for watching, for better or worse. If you agree, great. If you don't, I mean, I always tell you lot to hold me to account. This is why we support football and we watch football. Different opinions, different angles, diverse conversation. Deluded Gooner, the best YouTuber. You just learned a thing. I'm out.